set your chat to all panelists and attendees. Hey, Era. Era, I absolutely love your dedication. Thank you. Hey, Shannon and Sandra and Amy. Hey, everybody. If you don't mind, tell me where you're from and if you are here because you are new or a refresh. Awesome, awesome. Laurie, Panama City Beach, Florida, new, welcome. Amy's from Dallas, Georgia, a refresh. Another Amy is from Georgia, she's new. Deanda is from Smyrna, here for a refresh. Shannon, Canton, new. Sandra, Muscle Shoals, Alabama, new. Jane, refresh from Benton, Tennessee. Tina Murphy, Murphy, North Carolina. Cheryl Davis, hey Cheryl from Clarksville, Georgia, here for a refresh. And Gail says that she's new and needs a refresh. Never really knew how to do this. Dedicated now, needs to learn all I can. Need to learn all I can, that's right. Asheville, North Carolina, you can do it. Hey Gail from Wetumpka. Kathy Wheeler from Hoover. And Amy's from Waleska. Kathy, you're Benita's sorority sister, right? Benita's my cousin. On Facebook, Lauren and David Brown are watching. Hey, Wendy, Mary Pruitt. Hey, Danny. Yes, I love what Wendy says on Facebook. She says, welcome to all of our newbies. You will love this program. Hey, Christine. Era, actually, if you don't mind, Era, for yours, click on yours. Yours needs to say all panelists and attendees. Yours just says all panelists. Yes, Benita is my cousin. Thanks, Era. There you go. There you go. Okay, it's 8:03. Always give us until 8:03 to go ahead and get started. So what we're going to do is I'm going to share my screen with you tonight, and we're going to access a website. You don't need a screenshot or anything. I told you that last night about that. I'm going to show you where to find these things. And the reason I say that is because, you know, when we think this information is good, and then we think, I want to be able to access this later, oh my goodness, I need to screenshot everything. You don't have to worry about that. It will be in the website, and I'll show you where to find it. So let me share the screen. Awesome, Deb. I'm glad you're here. Hey, Angela and James and Andy and Michelle from Carrollton. Learning all you can. I tell you, I mean, I just soak it all in all the time because this information is the information that if you get it down and you apply it, it will change your life. Hey, Kathy on not on Facebook, in the Zoom room. I got people all over the place, which is awesome. I love it. I love it. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Now, remember, I did kind of give you a little warning last night that if I do pop quiz things tonight, so just be ready to type if we get that. Hey, Lavelle, I just left Lavelle at the Kennesaw Shibby Shop. Hey, Chelsea. So you can have your fingers ready to type today so that we can answer those questions and from last night. So what we're going to do is I'm going to work us through this website. This website, one of the most important things that you can do is start to familiarize yourself with the foods that go in the categories, okay? Because you want to know what types of foods are in these categories. But then, most importantly, you want to know which foods that you like that are in these categories. You don't have to eat anything that you don't want on Planet Shibboleth. So if you see something or hear something that you don't like, you just scratch it off your list. You don't have to worry about that. We're going to focus in on finding foods that you like. And if you need to schedule a mentor appointment to do that, that's why we have those available, because we can do a meal planning mentor appointment. But the whole The whole goal is for you to be able to do this on your own, no matter where you are, okay? So every time we come to a new category, I'm going to read that list because it helps to hear and it helps to see the words, and so you can familiarize yourself. I'm going to go over cooking oils and fats, and then I'm going to go over condiments. I'm going to get those one time, and then I'll just move on from there. So category 1 is a lean protein. You could do 2 to 8 ounces. Now, I personally have never measured anything. I just do a proper combination on my plate. I use my 2-hand rule. The 2-hand rule is simply this. You take your hands, you put your fingers just close together as possible. You move your thumbs out of the way. You put your hands together as close as possible. You put your hands parallel to your plate and you put it down over your plate. You lower it down over your plate and then you look. If you cannot see your food, then you have portion controlled. Isn't that awesome? Nice and simple. So we carry our measuring tools with us wherever we go. So 2 to 8 ounces if you are a measurer though. And this always gives me a great idea that if I'm eating in a restaurant, oh, 2 to 8 ounces, you know, that kind of thing. So you make sure you don't over order your food. So egg whites are a category 1 lean protein. All fish, chicken breast, turkey breast, pork tenderloin, boar's head turkey, boar's head chicken breast, boar's head London broil, low-fat cottage cheese, fat-free cottage cheese, Greek plain yogurt, Hebrew National 97% lean beef frank, one of those, one link, and 96% lean ground meat. So I need y'all to give me some thumbs up if you saw something on there that you like, because we want to find at least 2 to 3 things on this little list that you like. And let me just talk about these things. It says boar's head there because boar's head is very lean, but there are other approved sandwich meats. Good. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I'll see some things. And all of your fish is here, but we do shellfish in a different category. We'll go over that in a second. Chicken breast is here, but if you've got dark meat chicken or chicken with the skin on it, that's going to be a category 4 protein plus fat. Pork tenderloin is here, but if you're doing a pork chop, that's a category 4 protein plus fat. So it's just important to start learning the differences between those because it's important how you eat it. Our food library is going to be one of your very best values because you no longer have to stand in the grocery store and wonder which one of these products is going to be best. Just look it up. Look it up in the food library. Awesome. I love all those thumbs up. Good. Good, good, good. Okay, so cooking oils. We briefly went over these last night, and I'm going to re-hit them tonight because you really need to make sure you understand about these. Our number 1 recommended cooking oil is 100% MCT oil. This is a game changer, secret alert. Very, very important. You don't want to use canola oil, vegetable oil, olive oil anymore. Okay, now a lot of people will then say, but I thought olive oil was good for you. Olive oil does have some really good properties, but it does change its properties once it's cooked, and it's not as it's not as good for you anymore. But then the other thing is about this, we are in a nutritional situation. The nutritional situation that we're currently in is that we want to access and burn stored energy. We got to have energy to live. Let's find that energy in stored energy on our body so that we can shave off fat, because that's what that is. All fat is stored energy. Okay, so we gotta get rid of that. But if we're giving our body easily accessible sources of energy, which canola oil, vegetable oil, olive oil are easily accessible sources of energy, and your body's always going to access them first, plus they take a very long time to burn up. Those are all long chain triglycerides. They take a long time to burn up. They're also a very densely woven triglyceride, so it takes a long time to break them down and burn them up. MCT burns up like this. It has almost no propensity to be stored on the body as fat, whereas those others have a great propensity to be stored on the body as fat. And those people that are just eating oil and doing other things, but then let's just say they're a bodybuilder and they still you know, are keeping their nice, slim, trim body. They're not in the same nutritional situation we are. So we've got to do things for our nutritional situation. That's what's really important. I want you to say that to yourself. Nutritional situation. Okay, I do these certain things when I'm in this nutritional situation. Because when you get to maintenance, there's a few things that you can adjust. One of them is how you eat fruit, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. So 100% MCT oil. Coconut oil will be the second choice. Ghee butter would also be another choice. Hemp oil and 0-calorie cooking spray. Coconut oil is 60% MCTs. Ghee butter is really just a clarified butter. It's 40% MCTs. Hemp oil is good for wellness, but it really doesn't have a lot of MCTs in it, so I would really do these others. And then 0-calorie cooking spray is a good option. I tend to use the 100% MCT oil when I'm cooking a category 1 lean protein or category 7 shellfish. And while I'm there, what is a category 7 shellfish? It's really just a what? And while y'all are answering that question, I'm gonna get some water in. I got one bottle. That's right, Era, and that's right, Sandra, Deanda, Shannon, good. That's right, James. So that's just a lean protein. Good. I'm glad y'all are putting that together. Very good, Kathy. Amy, good. Awesome. Gayla, good. Good. We're getting that together because the most important thing is that you understand this stuff like that. You're seeing numbers instead of foods. It's very important. Okay. When I'm cooking a category 1 or a category 7, I'll use MCT oil. But if I'm cooking a category 4, which is a protein plus fat, I'll use my 0-calorie cooking spray because it's already got good natural fats in it. I don't need to add more. So that's how I do that. And just remember, with our MCT oil, we are not making bulletproof coffee. You do not need to get it in as a supplement, and you also don't put it in shakes or anything like that. But what you can do is you can use it for 3 things. Cooking in a pot or a pan, using it as a recipe, the oil if it calls for an oil, and making salad dressings. So that's how we're going to use it. There will be other people that are out there in a different nutritional situation, different goals, different things they're trying to accomplish. They may be selling you MCT oil, trying to use it in all these different ways. No, it still has calories. In fact, this MCT oil has about 100 calories per tablespoon, but it has a muscle preserving effect, and that's really important to us. It also has a metabolism building effect, and it'll help you burn a few extra calories too. Also keep in mind that in the cooking process, some of that's going to cook up, so you're not going to get all 100 calories. All right, so I hope that all makes sense. Let me know if you have any questions about any of this. And the more you listen to videos and the video library and things, all this stuff will come together. So condiments. So I didn't even talk about condiments last night. I always just save them for tonight. So there are so many things in the food library or in the grocery store that can be used as a condiment that we have condiments in the food library, but not everything that can be a condiment is in there. So sometimes you're walking through the grocery store, and let's just say, I've got a perfect example. I just had this happen. I wanted, to get some pizza sauce. And so I went into the store. I was specifically going in to buy Classico, traditional pizza sauce. That's what I was going to get. And they didn't have any. And so I thought, oops, I don't want to pull out my app. I'm going to trust the knowledge that I have. Let me look at these pizza sauces. They had 6 pizza sauces. So the first thing I'm going to look at, because our rule is called 5, 2, and a few. 5, 2, and a few. That's our 5, 2, and few rule. You're looking at the nutritional label. You want anything that you're going to use as a condiment, you want it to have 5 grams of sugar or less and 2 grams of fat or less. So when I looked at the back of that pizza sauce, if it had more than 5 grams of sugar in it, I didn't even need to look at the fat. I just put it back up. But actually I did out of curiosity, and some of them had more. It worked in the sugar, but it didn't work in the sugar and it works in the fat, and vice versa. So you got to find one that meets both qualifications. So I was looking at those. Well, I came to one that had less than 5 grams of sugar. So once you've looked at that, you look at the fat content. If it also has 2 grams of fat or less, and you're not going to use more than 50 calories worth of condiments on a meal, then you can use that for a condiment, even if it's not in the food library. So, because there's so many things that could be used, we just give you a rule for that. You can always check the food library because we do have a lot of condiments in there. And if you want to have it added, all you got to do is send a picture of the front of the item and the back of the item, and we'll get it added for you, okay? But so out of those 6 that I looked at, 2 of them would work. And then I just made my choice which one I want. But some condiments that you can use, 0-calorie condiments are actually best. You can have as many of those as you want to. We sell some Walden Farms products in our store. And the reason I'm mentioning this is because the ones that we sell are 0-calorie. If you see Walden Farms products out in other stores or grocery stores, be very careful. Make sure you read the label, because some of their products are fat-free and some of their products are sugar-free, but those don't necessarily mean they are calorie-free. So if you are looking for that, we do sell those at our store. You can also use 15-calorie or less spices and seasonings, salt and pepper. And if you're looking for a coffee creamer, it needs to have 15 calories or less. We do have approved list of coffee creamers. In fact, watch this. I click there, and it's not doing what I want it to. So never mind. I was going to look fancy. It's not linked. But salsa, salsa, reduced sugar ketchup, mustard, hot sauce, Kraft fat-free, mayo. So all of those things can be used as condiments, but obviously all of these things are really tiny lists, okay? Hey, thank you, Era. Okay, hummus, Gala. Hummus is actually going to be in a category 6 superfood. You just want to make sure that it's an approved hummus, because we've looked at all the nutritional value to put the approved hummuses in there. If you find a hummus that you like and you want us to, it's not in the food library, take a picture of the front of it and the nutrition label and send it into the Shibboleth Fixed It group. And Kim Shibboleth, which is not this Kim, will have a look at that and let you know if it works. And if it works, she will add it to the food library so that everybody can benefit from it. So what we're looking at right here in this is we can eat a lean protein by itself. You can doctor it up. I mean, you can cook it up in the right oils and doctor it up with the right condiments, and you can have a great, an excellent fat-burning meal. Just because you're eating this lean protein by itself doesn't mean that you should put lean protein under both hands. It still needs to fit under just one hand. It's just what you've chosen to do, okay, if you just choose to eat one by itself. So we got this little flame here, and we have a plus sign. So this just means this is excellent for fat burning, excellent for efficient fat burning. Hey, Michelle, I'm glad you're here. So, and I see that you said lean protein, Wendy. So we're going to move through this next one a little bit faster because I've done all those explanations. See this category 7 shellfish, which y'all told me is really just a lean protein. So 2 to 8 ounces, crab, lobster, shrimp, scallops, mussels, clams, and I'm going to list octopus right here because I want to point out the fact that octopus doesn't have a shell, but this is where we would put other things that swim in the ocean or the lake that aren't fish. Go right here. And then you can have some shellfish all by itself. You can cook it up in the right oil, doctor it up with the right condiments, and you will have an excellent fat-burning meal. Keep in mind, it would just be under one hand. This is where your lean protein source goes. You don't need 2 hands of it. Okay, so we have a brand new category here. This one is not a numbered category, because see, if you think about cooking oils and you think about condiments, those are really categories too. It's just not those numbered categories. This is HHF. HHF stands for 2 things. HH stands for hemp hearts. HF stands for hemp flakes. So we just call that HHF. The hemp hearts are actually a category 6 superfood. Now, I don't think I said this last night. I normally do, and I ask this question. So I'm going to ask it, though, to see if any of you remember this from previous lessons. What qualifies a food to be called a superfood? Anybody knows that? Type it in, please. I know somebody knows it. All right, Shannon says it's got protein, water, and fat in it. It's got one more thing, Shannon, one more. So, yes, Shannon got added it. Carbs. Okay, so let's explain that. Yes, Cheryl has all 4 macronutrients in there. If you know anything about nutrients, and I mean macronutrients, you may be thinking water's not a macronutrient. Well, you now live on planet Shibboleth. You are a citizen of planet Shibboleth, and we consider water a macronutrient. In fact, we consider it the most important macronutrient. And guess what? It's a 0-calorie macronutrient. But a superfood has all 4 macronutrients. It's got water, it's got carbs, it's got protein, and it has fat. So these hemp hearts are actually a category 6 superfood. They have all 4 macronutrients in there. The hemp flakes are a defatted hemp heart. So let's say we have all 4 macronutrients and we defat it. So we're still left with the water, so we're just going to take it down. We still have some carbs, but they're good. They're good fibrous carbs, and we still have some protein. So hemp flakes are a defatted hemp heart. So let's talk about like a little wellness meter. Let's say that we have a wellness meter and a weight loss meter. Well, your hemp hearts are really going to be more like a 10 on the wellness meter, where they might be like an 8 on the weight loss meter. Well, your hemp flakes are going to be a 10 on the weight loss meter, where hemp hearts would be an 8 on the weight loss, on the weight loss meter. Yeah. So, but what I want you to keep in mind about that is they're both great for fat burning. We just like to start teaching you these little nuances and everything, okay? But an 8 or a 10 on a range of anything of 10, a 1 to 10 is still great, okay? But I just want to kind of at least point that out to you. Very sweet hemp flakes are hemp flakes that have been sweetened with just a touch of maple syrup, mesquite, and cassava. And they are absolutely delicious. Now, we're not going to talk a lot tonight about how to use these hemp flakes, but just know that they can be put together with a lean protein, all right, or shellfish. I skipped over this. Hemp protein powder, too, is really good. So sometimes if somebody's making a little parfait for themselves, they'll use some yogurt, and then maybe they want some berries, maybe a condiment amount of berries. But if you're going to do that, if you're going to eat berries, you have to combine that with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. Sometimes people will use these hemp flakes as that fibrous carb, and it's just like a little crunchy, flaky thing on top. If you don't like the texture of that, you could use the hemp protein powder, mix that into your Greek plain yogurt or whatever kind of yogurt you're eating that works, and then you wouldn't even have that texture. So these are just kind of things that you work at over time. But one of the things that I'm going to have you do in the fast track laps, and keep in mind that those laps are like a map. They are helping you map your way through the Shibboleth website as you maneuver through everything. But I can't remember what lap it is, lap 5 or 6 possibly, but it's encouraging you and giving you little tasks to find videos in the video library. And I do have you search for a video in the video library on hemp that Travis did back in April of this year. That is an excellent video. And underneath that video, you have the materials and the resources that you would need. Okay, so what this row is saying is that you can put something from this list with something from this list, use a good cooking oil, and throw on some condiments, and you'll have an excellent fat-burning meal. Shannon is saying that her food library doesn't show the HHF category. Let me click here real quick and see. Shannon, are you brand new? Okay, brand new. Let me look at this. So when you're a brand new person, your food library, because we don't put the whole food library out there to you right away. We have a more limited food library. Now we can teach you and show you how to get to the full food library if you get ready for that. Which this week you should just kind of focus in on the simple. But right now, Shannon, your food library just looks like this. But let me just show you something. See right here, go to complete food library. You could click right there and it would take you to the complete food library. But this is a newbie food library. Let's just see. Because this isn't all that you get to eat. You get tons of food. Yeah, and it does not have them in there. It's kind of an advanced lesson, but we like to at least go ahead and mention it because what I like to do this week and in these webinars is start to familiarize you with the terms and things that you're going to be hearing and seeing on the websites and all of our Facebook groups and stuff so that you're there. So yeah, Shannon, it's just a category, but if you were to go to this complete food library and you just type in hemp, look, I've searched for it so many times, it's at the top. Anything that has hemp in it will be in there. And so you can look up that. But honestly, before you start using hemp, I'm gonna go ahead and give you a sneak peek of how to search for the video. See that yellow tab? That's the videos and print material. See this search bar right here? If you click on that, it'll find all the videos that have even mentioned hemp. Or this is a video on a strawberry peach hemp fruit smoothie. But this right here, this is the video that I want y'all to watch if you're interested in hemp. Now, if you're not interested in hemp, which I was not in the beginning, but I have begun to like it. I don't feel like everybody has to like everything in the beginning. You can grow into things, and hemp is something that I grew into. So just to give you that, there's that link. But that is a little task I'm going to use later in the labs this week for you to make sure that you know how to search for things in the video library. All right, so we'll scroll up a little bit more. You can take category 7 shellfish and put it with hemp products, cook it up in the right oil and doctor it up with the right condiments and have an excellent fat burning meal. So we're going to scroll down a little bit more. We have a brand new category now, category 2. That is our fibrous carbs. So they give you a range there if you just want that visual, half a cup up to 1 cup. Half a cup is really better for weight loss. Once you get into maintenance, if you want to try a cup, you can, but half a cup's really better for weight loss. But again, have I ever measured this? No, I just put it on my plate and cover it up with my hand and eat it. So I try not to complicate things. I have seen people complicate things, and we definitely don't want to complicate it, okay? Broccoli, asparagus, squash, all squash, okra, green leafy vegetables, spinach, cabbage, cucumbers, bell peppers, hot peppers, cauliflower, kraut, dill pickles. So there's a nice little list of things right there. Y'all give me some hearts or on Facebook and thumbs up in the Zoom room if you see some things there in this category that you like. And if you do like some things in there, pick one thing from category 1 and one thing from category 2, awesome, that you'd eat together. Y'all put together just a little simple meal for me. Thank you, everybody. Awesome. Let's put together a little simple meal. We did that this morning on the Shibby Show. The Shibby Show is a little show I do on the public Facebook page in the mornings. We put together some things. Shannon says, how do you do a thumbs up? Shannon, are you on a phone or are you on a computer? Gloria, I like it all. That's awesome. So what I would do, Shannon, because I don't know how to make a thumbs up on a computer, I would just do the colon and then the end parentheses and just do a smiley face, but I don't know how to do a thumbs up on a computer. Era says that she would eat the 96% lean ground beef or 97 higher and green beans. Excellent. Gayla says grilled chicken and asparagus. Awesome, Shannon. Grilled chicken and asparagus. Gloria says she likes it all. Amy Reese says chicken breast and green beans. Era says, are dill pickles considered a freebie? They can be. I'm going to click on dill pickles because I want to show you something. It's going to take me to the food library. Okay, so when you click on a food in the food library, do you see this word category right here? See how it says this can be used as a category 2 fibrous carb. It can also be used as a freebie. But Era, what you want to do is you want to name it something, okay? So if you are eating dill pickles as your fibrous carb next to, let's just say, a hamburger patty that's approved, you have hamburger and pickles, that's a category 1 and a 2, then you're going to call those pickles a 2. Kathy, green beans are definitely on the list. They just aren't on this shorter list, but they're definitely there. Okay. But if you're just eating those in that, if you have a moment of mental weakness and you just need something and you're eating it not as a meal, then you want to call it a freebie at that point. Because you want to call these things how you're using them. That's actually really important. Yeah, good job, Era. Okay. And then Melissa says, lean hamburger with spinach topped with fat-free mayo and pickles. That would be yummy. That'd be yummy. You see what she did? She put together several things. The lean hamburger is a 1. The spinach is a 2. The fat-free mayo is, and pickles, really, she's using that as a condiment because she's, unless it depends on how many pickles she's using. And then Shannon says, I noticed the same thing about carrots today. Are they a freebie or a category 3? We're going to touch that in just a second, Shannon, just a second. Okay, so when you take something from this category and something from this category, let's just say chicken and broccoli, just to keep it really, really simple. That is called exercise on a plate. Exercise on a plate. Here's why. The calorie burn that it takes to break down the protein and the amino acids in that chicken and the fiber in that broccoli, it burns as much calories as were in it. So it's really kind of a negative calorie meal, which is great. You add a little bit of MCT oil to that when you cook it, and you have just added some jet fuel to that exercise on a plate, and you have burned a few extra calories. So we call that exercise on a plate. All right. So this is the category 1 and a 2. It's a great combo. Great combo. Let's scroll down. We have a category 7 and a category 2. So you can pick something from category 7 and category 2. Yes, Gayla, I will. So Gayla is asking me to explain this. Now, Gayla, that box is not always yellow, just to let you know. That box is not always yellow. So, hey, Teresa, I'm glad you're here. That's awesome. Hey, Jennifer Bond. Okay, so, but see, this is a -1. So in this box here, all food, so we kind of look at food based on its category, right? We already got that. We look at food based on its category. But there's a secondary way to what I say is judge food, you know. It's on a weight loss meter. So this is a weight loss meter system, and a -1 is good for weight loss. The weight loss meter goes from a -3 to a +3. 0, not going to help you, not going to hurt you. Negative numbers are better for weight loss. Positive numbers are really better for maintenance, but if you have one in weight loss, it's not going to throw you out of EFB, which is efficient fat burning. But if you do them too often, you may not see the results that you want. So, yeah, Amy, I really wouldn't worry about these numbers, but I do want to show y'all something. We're going to go to the food library, and I'm going to go to the full food library. We got these categories here. If you're looking at a phone, you know, everything kind of is just long now. You just got to scroll up till you find it. I'm going to click on meal replacements. The reason I'm going to do that is because meal replacements are great for weight loss, It's just that we want to have really the -2 and -3 meal replacements for the best for weight loss. So you see how I've got meal replacement right here. MR is what we call that for short. See these little filters right here? Let's say that we needed a gluten-free meal replacement. If I click that filter, it's going to regenerate my list and nothing in it's going to have gluten. If you're gluten sensitive and you need that, which is awesome. And so I'm waiting for that to regenerate. So it did, it generated. And sometimes don't get impatient. There's so much data in here. If your little thing is moving, give it a minute, all right, before clicking again. We don't want to rush it. So now, do you see this weight loss meter? Well, first of all, see how that turned green? That means that filter is applied to this list. Now, weight loss meter, -3, +3. You've got this little ball here. You've got this little ball here. When I hover over that ball, you see how that range in the black came up? I'm going to take this ball and I'm going to scroll this over to -2, -3. Then I have to hit this set button. It's going to regenerate my list again. So this new list that comes up is going to be meal replacements that have no gluten that are also in the -2, -3 weight loss meter. And then what you do is you just click on these and see if, we'll read the list, see if you're familiar with any of them. If you are, if you like them, heart them. See the little heart at the end? You can heart those. And it moves these foods over into your favorite foods. Look right there, my favorites, which can also be found in your journal too. So just kind of read through there. So for example, I love these Buff Baked Crunchy Protein Cookies. They are a -3 on the weight loss meter. 68 other people have also said they like that. And if I wanted to add that to my grocery list, I can do that. That is one of the tasks in the laps this week, okay? But let's click on this Buff Baked Protein Crunchy Cookie. Do you see how that's no longer a yellow box, Gayla? It's a red box because it's a -3. So they just have different colors just to give you those visuals. So anything that has a -3 is going to have a red box there, and anything that had a -1 is going to have a yellow box. So yeah, I love a Mighty Muffin, and I did a ton of Mighty Muffins in the beginning because they're a -3 weight loss meter meal replacement. And then I went through a period of time where I didn't eat very many Mighty Muffins, and then I've eaten a couple recently. But what you want to do is always have a nice little rotation that you do. All right, so now we're going to go over this row very, very quickly because this is our list of category 2s. We've already gone over our list of category 7s. So y'all give me some thumbs ups or some hearts if you can say that you understand that you pick something from this list, and it can be anything from category 7. It doesn't have to be just what's listed there. It could be from the bigger food library, and something from this list to make a combination. You know, you might see plus signs on our little pieces. That doesn't mean we're doing any math. Y'all don't worry, there's no math to combining. It just means we're putting it together on the plate together. Good, awesome, awesome. So we're gonna scroll a little bit more. And looky here. First of all, I want to point out this. What do we no longer see right here? Thank y'all for telling me you understood. Thank you. There's something missing. That's right. That's right. That torch, that flame is gone. Well, I just want to get a little, remember there's some little nuances here. What I'm going to talk about right now is still great for fat burning. It's just that these are excellent for fat burning. But you can still do this other one. Don't be afraid of it. Don't be scared of it or anything. It's just that there are nuances that we eventually want you to learn. So this is really a nutrition education that is going to be the best thing you've ever done for yourself. So we can eat a category 6 by itself, right? We can. So superfood, pintos, black beans, red beans, soybeans. So while I'm talking about beans, most of your darker colored beans are a superfood. Peanut butter, nuts, seeds. This is also where you'd find that hummus, okay, but make sure it's an approved hummus. And this is also where you'd find avocado and some other things. It says you can have a cup up to 1.5 cups. Now, this is the amount that you might want to eat if you are eating it by itself. But if you're eating it as a combination of a meal, you're not going to want to go up to that amount. That'd be too much, okay? So that's if you were eating it by itself. So what this is saying here is you can eat category 6 superfood all by itself, doctor it up with the right condiments, and have a great fat burning meal. Now let's touch base on this peanut butter real quick. This peanut butter, it says 2 tablespoons. Well, you want to make sure it's an approved peanut butter. No peanut butter that has hydrogenated vegetable oil in it is approved, not approved. And if you're looking for quantity of peanut butter, you might want to buy a peanut butter called bettered peanut butter. And because you could have 4 tablespoons of it for a meal and 2 for a snack, where all other peanut butters are 2 tablespoons for a meal and 1 tablespoon for a snack. If you're looking for another really great peanut butter, there's one called Nuts and More. I just bought the chocolate chip cookie dough Nuts and More tonight at the Shibby Shop, and it's got 11 grams of protein in it, whereas some peanut butters that you might find in the grocery store might have like 6 grams of protein. So there's more protein in those. And then the other one that would be really good is Peanut Butter and Company. It's a good one too. But if you're looking for quantity of peanut butter, the one called Bettered Peanut Butter is good. That's right. That's right. I love y'all. Y'all keep typing away. Thank you. Thank you. The first peanut butter I named, Gail, was Bettered Peanut Butter. I'll type it in because it's kind of. In fact, I just clicked on peanut butter. This takes you to the generic peanut butter, just really any peanut butter. And I really just clicked on there to get me to the anything. Actually, this is just the whole list of peanut butters, which is kind of cool. Bettered peanut butter is right here. They actually have changed the packaging, but it'll show you right here, and it still says 2 tablespoons, but we actually need to update that. Let me write this down. But they might just want to keep it at 2 tablespoons there, and then I'll just give you those little secrets. I don't know. Then the other one that you might want to do is Nuts and More. And it's delicious. A lot of different flavors. This bettered peanut butter, it's got a different consistency to it. So it might take you a bite or two or a sandwich or two to, get used to it. But Shibby Shop Sherry, who works at the Kennesaw location, absolutely loves it now that she's eaten it a little bit more. Let's come down here and let's do, I don't see Nuts and More, but anyway, we better keep going. I can get distracted in this because I do love it so much. Okay, so you can have superfood by itself and doctor it up with the right condiment. So we are going to come down here. Although, I got a question. What little column are we not seeing anymore? That's right, Era. We are not seeing the oil anymore. Reason being is superfoods have more carbs in them, so you don't really want to add oil to that. So that's why that went away. So personally, if I was going to do something with that, you could use water to cook it. You could use chicken bouillon. You could use fat-free chicken broth. You could do 0-calorie cooking spray, but I wouldn't add, in my opinion, oils that have calories to this. Yes, awesome. Y'all got it. Oils. So they've disappeared. You could still use the 0-calorie that was cooking there, but we're trying to make a point with removing it. All right, this one right here is another combination that you can have. You can have a category 6 superfood with a category 2 fibrous carb, doctor it up with the right condiments, and have a great fat burning meal. This is where Travis says you get your beans and greens. This is also where you find peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Let me explain how that works. Peanut butter. This list does not have category 2 breads on it because less bread is best, and we're going to talk about that in a second. But we could pick a category 2 bread, maybe Sara Lee 45 calorie delightful. Then your jelly would be a condiment, sugar-free jelly. It fits the condiment rule. You've got peanut butter, bread, and jelly. This is a peanut butter and jelly sandwich right here. Isn't that cool that that's a peanut butter and jelly? Okay, so we're going to scroll down a little bit more. We have a brand new category here. Category 4, protein plus fat. Look at the ounces, 2 to 6 ounces. The ounces above were 2 to 8 ounces on those lean proteins. Let me explain why. There are 4 calories in 1 gram of protein. There are 9 calories in 1 gram of fat. So you just have a few less ounces if it's a protein plus fat. But y'all heard me talking. Do you think I ever measure this? No, I just put it underneath my hand and eat it. So, but what this has helped me though in a restaurant, if I had a choice between a 6 ounce and an 8 ounce steak, I would choose the 6 ounce. So it does help me to know that. Okay, Gloria is asking, what is the few in the 5-2 and few? The few is the amount of calories that you're going to use with the condiment. You do not want to have more than 50 calories of condiments in a meal. So you can have 50 calories worth of condiments in every meal if you want to, but even with that said, I would be choosy. I'd be really choosy because those 50 calories do add up over a course of a week. That can add up to 1,050 calories. So, Gloria, the example is this. Let's say that you want cheese and ketchup on your 96% lean ground beef patty. Well, your approved cheese, is a fat-free cheese slice, is about 30 calories. That would give you 20 calories to play with for ketchup. So you can actually do multiple condiments with a meal as long as they fit the rules and you're not going over 50 calories of condiments on a meal. Okay, so let me ask you a question, and y'all should be able to answer this one from last night's webinar. Can you eat a category 4 by itself? Yes, that's awesome. You can. You can eat a category 4 all by itself. You can. So let me just give you an example. If you wake up in the morning and the only thing that you've got to eat is just, you got some eggs, make some scrambled eggs. That is a perfectly combined meal. You didn't even have to combine anything. Portion control it, and there you go. Now, to optimize that, you really should possibly have that with a category 2, but it's not required. In every single thing, we have to teach you how to make these decisions in a pinch. All right, so if you wake up and all you've got is eggs and you want a perfect breakfast, just eat some eggs, totally fine. But maybe you go to the grocery store later, you get what you need, and optimally, you might put that with some spinach or something like that. Maybe that'd make us an egg spinach omelet. That'd be optimal, but you don't have to. The other way this comes in handy for me, I go to a lot of luncheons. So you go to a luncheon and you don't really have a choice over what you're going to eat. There's these pans of food, and I'll look at that food and I'll go, fat bus, fat bus, fat bus. Oh, steak. I'll eat just the steak, and that's okay. That is a properly combined meal. Now, if at home I was going to eat that, I'd probably put it with a category 2, but it does not have to be eaten with a category 2. It can be eaten by itself, but optimally you'd have it with a category 2. But see what I'm trying to teach you? I'm trying to teach you every little situation that you could possibly have. You need to know how to deal with all of those. So you can take, let's read this list. Whole eggs, all of your steak, pork ribs, beef ribs, turkey spam, pulled pork, beef brisket, 93% lean up to 95.9% lean ground meat, and turkey kielbasa, as long as no more than 50% of the calories are coming from fat. So let me touch on turkey spam. we are not promoting turkey spam. What we do on the Planet Shibboleth is we want everybody to be able to do this program. This is actually an extremely budget-friendly lifestyle. And if what you can afford, or maybe you just like it, is turkey spam, we want you to know everything that you can use to lose weight and reach the goals. Now, if you say, hey, I'm a grass-fed, grass-finished kind of girl, I am only going to eat that high-quality steak, and then you say, well, I can afford turkey spam, or I actually like it. We want everybody with every type of leaning in that way, either way they go, to be able to do this lifestyle. I love that. There is no discrimination. We just tell you what works. It's then your choice of what to buy. Beef, the regular spam doesn't work though, by the way. Okay, so category 4 with a category 2 doctored up with the right condiments. And remember, you're not going to see your oils right here. You would use water, 0-calorie cooking spray, or whatever other type of thing you might could use to cook it up. But this already has fat in it, so you don't really need to add fat to it. All right, we're going to come down and look at one more. We got 2 more to go. Category 3, energy carbs, and this is going to answer that question about the carrots that was asked earlier. Category 3, energy carb. A quarter of a cup is really best for weight loss. Once you get up to maintenance, if you want to try half a cup, you can. But a quarter of a cup, let's just use our hand, would be about right here, be about right there. Now remember, last night I was telling you that my mind says category 3, ding, 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 ding. This must be combined properly. So, before I go into this, I want to hit this. Category 4, there are 3, I told y'all this last night, there are 3 categories that you don't eat with a category 4. Who knows those? Yep, Shannon got it right. 3, 5, and 6. Yeah, you don't eat those with protein plus fat. Here's why. Those have carbs. You don't want fat with carbs. So you just don't eat 3s, 5s, and 6s with your protein plus fat. But when we come down here to our category 3, see, with the category 4s, I tell you what not to eat with it. With the category 3s and 5s, your energy carb and your fruit, we got to tell you what to eat it with. So category 3, let's read over this. White potato, sweet potato, actually all potatoes are here. Oatmeal, steel cut oats, make sure it's an approved oatmeal. Weight control oatmeal, long grain brown rice, not white rice is a holiday. Quinoa, lima beans, peas, tomato, onion, carrots, whole wheat pasta, whole grain pasta. So I'm going to touch base on these pastas real quick. So I personally wouldn't eat those pastas, even if you go in the store, it's whole wheat, whole grain pasta, because I mean, you get about a quarter of a cup of it, but you may not think that's enough. But I mean, if you just put it right there and then you also had a lean protein and a fibrous carb here, it may be enough for you. But what I would do if I'm using a pasta is I like the Explore Cuisine pasta. The Explore Cuisine pasta is a category 1 and 2 together. So what that means to you is, and I want you to be thinking through it right now to start helping to train yourself. A category 1 and 2 together means that it's got enough lean protein and fiber in it to qualify as that together. So it's a black bean pasta. It's really good. It's got, it works for you. And there's some others too. I'm not going to expand. I'll be going all night if I were to expand. There's also carbonara pasta. A carbonara pasta is a category 1, 2, and 3. Egg noodles era, the carbonara pasta would be better for that. But let's look them up. We'll have to look them up for sure. And I'm thinking no. Unless it is, we'll look them up. Because I hadn't had anybody ask about egg noodles yet. And I don't usually use them, so I haven't looked at them. But the carbonara pasta is a category 1, 2, and 3 together. That's important. That's an important distinction. So if you're having a pasta that's a category 1 and 2, what category, if you wanted a meat with it, what category meat or meats could you have? See, this is that application. And you know, I used to be a teacher. I like for people to apply. What kind of meats could you have with a category 1 and 2 pasta? You could definitely have a 1 lean protein, Amy. There's another one you could have though. You could definitely have it with a 7. And Shannon and Era also got it correct. You can have it with a category 4 because that's a category 1 and 2 pasta. You can have that with all the meats that are approved. But if you're having the carbonara pasta, which is a 1, 2, and 3 all together, which one of those meats are you going to cut out and not use? 4. That's right, Shannon. You're going to cut out the 4 because we don't eat category 4 protein plus fats with anything that is a energy carb. And so that would be, it has energy carbs in it. So you just don't eat that with that. Yep, great, awesome. Okay, so I would just use a better pasta. I just think that you can have better pastas. Carrots. So this is answering the question from earlier. Carrots are actually a category 3 and a freebie. If they are cooked, they're definitely a category 3 because there's a lot of sugar in them once they've been cooked. But if you are just eating some raw carrots by themselves, you can call that a freebie. So it's just depending on how you're using them. Now, a lot of people ask about these onions and tomatoes. Onions and tomatoes can be used as a condiment. You just don't want to have one any thicker than the slice of and the size of your pinky. Okay, just a little slice, and you can use that as a condiment. But if you're going to have a 1/4 cup or more of tomatoes and onions, call it an energy carb so that you can combine it properly. But if you're just having a little slice on a burger, you could do that and call it a condiment. All of your peas are here, and then most of your lighter colored beans are an energy carb, but there's a few lighter colored beans that are a superfood. So this is one of the activities that I ask you to do in the Fast Track Labs is to just brainstorm all the foods that you personally like. Because if you like navy beans and you look up navy beans, you can actually eat those as a category 6 because they are a category 6, but they're light and most light ones are in here. That's the only one that's kind of a little tricky with, you know, on the superfoods, I can say your dark colored beans are your superfoods. But on this one, most of your lighter colored beans are energy carb, but there's just a few. So that's why if you like some lighter colored beans, just look them up and make sure that you know what category they're in. All right, so if you want to eat a category 3 energy carb, it must be combined with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. So let's just say you want to eat some lima beans, and let's just say you put it with chicken breast and broccoli. So let's just see, like we're going to use our measuring tools here. Lima beans, about a 1/4 cup, will fit under where your fingers are. Put your broccoli where the palm of your hand is. Put your chicken breast, your lean protein source here. Put it all on your plate, lower your hands down over it. And if you can't see your food, you have a properly combined, properly portioned meal. It is going to be great for fat burning. And you're going to get more flavors on your plate because you've added something else. And so you can use that, but just whatever you do, make sure that you combine it properly. Let me explain what happens, because I did last night, but I like to explain it because I really want you to understand. Lima beans are going to spike your blood sugar. But let me ask you a very important question. At a 1/4 cup of lima beans, did you overeat them? No, that's right. You did not overeat them. They still brought a blood sugar increase, but you didn't overeat them, so it wasn't like, you know, off the charts. But it still has to be dealt with so that you stay in EFB. You see how this whole package comes together? You want to stay in EFB. So now that you know this, you have something from category 1, which is your chicken in this example, the protein in the chicken breast and the fiber in that broccoli, which was your fibrous carb, are going to neutralize the insulin that came out from that energy carb. And you've neutralized that insulin, you've stayed in the EFB, and you're still going to have great results. Now, one thing you are definitely not going to see right here are these cooking oils. You can use your 0-calorie cooking spray, water, anything that's not a fatty oil, because if there is an oil, if there's fat out and that energy carb comes out, it's going to collect it. Remember, that's going to collect it. We don't want that to happen. So there's not going to be any fat here. See, there's really no fat in the lean protein, and there's no fat in fibrous carbs, and there's no fat in energy carbs. It's just the fact that energy carb spikes your blood sugar, so insulin comes out. If there's oil out at the same time as the insulin is out, that's when it's going to collect it. So you just don't put oils with that. So we're going to scroll up one more time, and we're going to go over category 5, fruit. I'm not going to read all of that because fruit is fruit, but I am going to draw a line right here under grapefruit. Berries, apples, oranges, and grapefruit, in that order, are your best for weight loss. Now, yesterday, I explained that there are 2 modes on Shibboleth, weight loss mode or maintenance mode. And I said there was 3 differences between the 2 modes. One is how many holidays that you can have in a calendar month. When in weight loss mode, you can do up to 6, and in maintenance mode, you can do up to 12. And the second thing I said about the differences was how you eat fruit. And the third is your mindset, because we got to get to that this is for life. The fruit thing is this. We're in the current nutritional situation that we want to access and burn stored body fat. When you are in weight loss mode, fruit must be combined properly. When you get to maintenance mode, if you're eating a meal, you should still combine fruit properly. But you could also have a serving of fruit as a snack if you want to in weight loss mode, in maintenance mode. So you can add some fruit, a serving back in maintenance. Okay, so I hope that makes sense to you. So let's just say that you wake up and you're just having a hankering for apple. You know, the apple a day keeps the doctor away kind of thing. You just want some apples. Well, first of all, notice here, medium to small apple. But you're going to want to combine it with a category 1 and a category 2. So maybe you have an egg white spinach omelet with some apples, with a small or medium apple. Maybe you like pork chops and applesauce. Who remembers where that show came from? Where that line came from, which show? You could have pork tenderloin, you could have some apples, and maybe you have green beans or squash or okra. You could do that. That would be properly combined. So there's going to be so many options that you can think of. It's just that this fruit spikes your blood sugar, even though it's a great thing for you. Fruit's good. It's got antioxidants in there. They're very good for you. But during the nutritional situation of weight loss, we just have to treat fruit differently. Okay, I hope that all makes sense. All right, now I have talked a lot tonight, just like last night. So we're gonna go over these things kind of quickly. These aren't necessarily, listed up in those categories. They do go into categories. It's just that we were showing you how to combine whole foods up there. So category 2 breads. This is a hallelujah moment. There's over 60 approved bread or bread type items in category 2. I personally would never eat another category 3 bread again. I don't need it, because then I'd have to make sure I combine it properly and all that, when this bread's safer. So less bread is best though. You never want more than 100 calories of bread with a meal. And if you're trying to be strategic with what you do, bread is better at breakfast or lunch and not as good at night, because 2 to 3 grams of water will attach itself to one gram of carb, and that will weigh you down, and you might not see the results that you want on the scale. Even though you weren't collecting fat, it's just that water holding on will not give you the results. So that's why it's better to, if you're really focused on that, then you wouldn't want to have bread at dinner time. But if it doesn't really bother you and you know it's all going to work out in the end, you could. So La Tortilla Factory, 50-calorie tortilla. Olay, Extreme Wellness, high-fiber tortilla. Healthy Life bread. Nature's Own double fiber wheat bread. Bran Crisp bread, which is not really a bread. It's more like a hard cracker. They're delicious, but it's not a bread. Healthy Life hot dog buns. Thomas Light 100-calorie English muffins. The reason I point out to you that you don't want more than 50 calories is because it's important to know that, see, like this extreme fiber, the Olay Wellness Extreme Fiber, some of them have 80 calories. Well, you for sure couldn't have 2. Most people don't eat 2 anyway with that, unless you're eating like the fat burning chicken enchiladas that I showed you last night. I do 2 with that because then I got my chicken and my enchilada sauce and my cheese all together. But if you're just making yourself a sandwich, really you're just going to use 1 tortilla or a wrap, I mean. But the reason I point that out is because there are 50-calorie ones and there's 80-calorie ones. So definitely don't buy those 80-calorie ones, even though they're approved, if you're making the fat-burning chicken enchiladas, because you wouldn't be able to eat 2. Okay, approved sweeteners: stevia, Splenda, monk fruit, xylitol. Thank you, Amy. Thank you. Oh, and Paige got it. Andy Griffin. Oh, is it Andy Griffin? The pork chops and applesauce? Okay, that's awesome. I thought it was Brady Bunch. It's probably both. But thank you, Paige. So thank you, Amy. So let me talk about this Splenda real quick. Splenda. We are not promoting Splenda. It's an option because it will work for weight loss. Okay. If you don't want that, then don't have it. You can have more of the natural ones. Okay, water has got to be gotten in. At least 64 ounces. That's your minimum to say that you've done check. I've met that. Water. Water and Spark and adding the Celsius to your water does not count as your water. It can be in addition to, but it doesn't count as water. So 64 ounces of clean, clear water. We're going to wash the insides, our organs, with clean, clear water. We would not bathe in Coke. We would not bathe in Spark. We would not bathe in Celsius. We would bathe in clean, clear water when we go up to shower. So just want to make sure that. You can also have 0-calorie beverages of any type, but they don't take the place of your water. You could have unsweet or approved tea, and you can have coffee with approved sweeteners. All right, cheese. You can do fat-free feta cheese, Kraft fat-free cheese, Borden fat-free cheese, Cabot extra light cheese, Laura Lynn fat-free cheese, Kroger brand fat-free cheese, Lifetime fat-free cheese. The Lifetime is bought on a website, and this is what Travis really likes. He likes this the best. I've never bought any, but what I buy regularly is I buy the Cabot extra light cheese, which actually, if you're using it as a component of your meal, it would be used as a category 4. It could be a 4. But if you're not using more than 50 calories of it, it's a condiment. And I really like the Borden fat-free cheese. To me, it tastes the best, better than these others. But everybody's taste buds are different. I just think the Borden melts well and does all kinds of stuff. But actually, this Borden fat-free cheese is a category 1 lean protein. But if you're just using a slice of it as a condiment, you call it a condiment. All right, lean protein milk. These milks are super important to you. Whole milk has tons of sugar in it. And these are all fat-free and they've been fortified with protein. So these are the milks you're going to want to use. Fat-free Fairlife milk, or if you have a Kroger near you, you could do Kroger Carb Master milk. You could also do hemp milk. But these are important because they're fortified with protein. That's the big deal. So if you're eating cereal, which milk sometimes goes with cereal, cereal is more starchy. Even the best of cereal is starchy. Gotta have something, which is the protein, to offset that. That's why you would want to have a lean protein milk. Now it says 8 to 16 ounces. If you are having this, because these are category 1s, I'll answer the almond milk question. Category 1, these are category 1s. If you are having this as a component of a meal, you count it as a lean protein. But if you just wanted to wake up in the morning and head off to work and just drink 16 ounces of milk, you'd call it a meal replacement. And you could have up to 16 if you wanted to do that. I'm going to talk about Almond milk right over here when I get to these cereals. Okay, Shannon. So breadings and flours, you can lightly bread things. Coconut flour, carb quick flour, Bob's TVP. TVP stands for textured vegetable protein. And it gives you like a little crunchy outside to maybe some chicken tenderloins or something like that. Almond flour. So all those work. This carb quick flour, it's like this quick, okay? But it's a category 2. You can make biscuits with this. You can make pancakes with this. I bread some chicken tenderloins with this, and then I cook it in MCT oil in the oven. It's heavenly. It's so heavenly. So you'll want to familiarize yourself with that. Oh, and if you like cornbread, there's a recipe called Perfect Cornbread. Era's saying Carb Quick is great. That utilizes some of these things here. So cereals. Now, at the very top of this website, it says phase 1. I want you to know that phase 1 is really the foundation of the program. You're never going to be out of phase 1. You're always going to be living in phase 1. Phase 2 is where we teach you about frozen meals, soups, some more cereal opportunities, those middle aisles of the grocery store. It's just kind of expanding all of, it's actually not necessarily better for you because phase 1, we teach you all the best stuff. So these cereals are really best for your first bit to give you the best results. Kashi Go Lean Original, which can be found at just about any store. K's Natural Cereal, that is sold at our store. Travis says it's the best, and it's really kind of a superfood the way they put it together. And Hilo Nutritious Living is a cereal that you can find out at some grocery stores. If you want to drink almond milk, it must be the unsweetened kind. And it's category 4, okay? It counts as a category 4. You can only have almond milk with what we call phase 1 cereals. So let's say, let me just talk to about, let's just mention a phase 2 cereal, Cocoa Puffs, like Reese's, not Cocoa Puffs, anyway, those Reese Puffs or Captain Crunch, which by the way, those are approved, but you don't get much of them. So I would just eat a cereal I could have more of. But anyway, if you want Captain Crunch, because it's a phase 2 cereal and it's starchier, you have to have it with one of these milks. That's a must. That's a must. It wouldn't be a perfect day if you didn't. But these cereals here, and there are more phase 1 cereals, you could have unsweetened almond milk with a phase 1 cereal. And let me I want to take you to the food library and show you something. I clicked on that link because it takes me over here really quick. But look at, see our categories list. Let's scroll down. Y'all need to familiarize yourself with these lists. Look, phase 1 cereal. So I'm going to click right there. Phase 1 cereal. This are the cereals that are a phase 1 cereal. So if you wanted unsweetened almond milk, you would want to pick a cereal from this list. Okay, then if you come down here and you click on these phase 2 cereals, see, this is very scientific. So y'all don't get overwhelmed in the beginning. Just keep it simple. Find some things you like. And then the more that you familiarize yourself with things, it'll all come together. So phase 2 cereals, let's just say, look, I mentioned Captain Crunch. Look at all those Captain Crunches right there. Banana Nut Cheerios and all of that. You can eat these, but it must be with one of those protein milks. All right, I'm not going to go over condiments again. I'm going to briefly hit the restaurants. What I want you to do is I want you to go to the restaurant guide, and I want you to find a restaurant that you frequent the most often and look through and see what they're saying you can eat, but specifically open up those items and read how to order it. We do everything we can to keep you safe. Read how to order it so that it can be a perfect meal out at a restaurant, all right? So one of the most popular things is Chick-fil-A. You can do 8 to 12 grilled chicken nuggets with a side salad. You can use light Italian dressing if you'd like. If you're willing to give up 4 nuggets to get the fried ones, which I am, then I would do that and a side salad. You're just going to save the French fries. If you do like the French fries and like those, you're going to save those for a holiday. Let me just tell you, their side salads are good, very good. And then you just have light Italian dressing or another approved dressing that you might take with you. But if you want to get it from them, that's the one that works. At Chick-fil-A, you can also have the grilled filet, the fried filet, and the spicy fried filet. That does not work at other places. It's how Chick-fil-A cooks this where it works, but you would not eat the bun. And sometimes I do that because I get tired of eating nuggets and I want that fried chicken filet because it just seems juicier. So I'll just kind of flip those around. And then just familiarize yourself with the restaurants that you go to and know that everything is written in there to keep you safe, okay? And then the one thing that we don't have right here, but I've already talked about it, are those meal replacements. I think it's very important that you find yourself some meal replacements just for those quick and easy things. Also, meal replacements made me feel like I was having desserts when I really wasn't. I just don't eat it as a dessert. I eat it as a meal. I get satisfied thinking I just ate all this chocolate stuff, but it was approved and it worked. Gloria says that she likes salad plain. I like that too, Gloria. I've never been really a dressing person, so that's been a real benefit to me. But you're right. You can start to eat it plain if you want to. Also, there's these little salad sprinkles that people like too. They're just like a seasoning thing. So thank y'all very, very much for participating. I know I went a little long tonight too, but what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you where to mark this off in your fast track laps. I'm going to go to the website. I'm going to click there. So look at that. The 8 to 12 grilled chicken nuggets is a -3 on the weight loss meter too. So we're going to click on this dashboard because what we're trying to do is get to our fast track laps. So we're at our laps, and hopefully y'all completed that already. Now, just to kind of reiterate how this works, if you hover over the little I, the black pop-up, please read it. It's exactly how I would explain to you what you're doing. Then if you click here, it is going to take you to the exact spot that you need to be. But then what you want to do after you've done this task is make your way back to these laps and click the checkbox. Okay. So we're going to go to lap 3. Right here, do you see where it says participate in the Monday night live webinar, Simple Food Combining? You've just done that. So you're going to come in and you're going to check that off. And if you're helping a friend or if you're telling anybody on Facebook about it, if you were not able to participate live, if you click there, it will take you to the last Monday night video that I did, so you can watch it on demand. So if you need that. This video link, that website link that we went over, a lot of people have asked me for that after the class. So it's right here. If you click right there, it will take you to that link. You can save it as a favorite in your favorites bar or your phone. Awesome, Lydia. Yay, thank you. Lydia has shibboleth up tonight. She was in class at Kennesaw and has been here the whole time. Awesome. Thank you, Lydia. So y'all can go ahead and click that once you've saved. See, watch this. I click there. See, it just took you to what we worked through tonight. Well, now that you've saved it so that you can have access to it, click that box. Okay, so this works like that. Usually, basically, this is a little map to help you work yourself through some activities. This video is me showing you how to do everything that's listed here. So the videos on each of these laps is different because they're all me showing you how to do that. And when you go to these laps and it says right here, it tries to break up watching the fast track videos for you over a course of a week. This one says, at a minimum, watch videos number 3 through 6. When you're watching those videos, you always want to click yes that you've watched that video. And then once you've watched those 3 videos, which by the way, that'd probably take you 10 minutes because these videos are short, very short. And then you just check the box. All right. So I hope that has helped, and make sure that you check the The Facebook page in the morning. The Facebook page in the morning is really just reminding you to go to the labs because we wanted everything to be on the website rather than on the in Facebook. So, because we want to direct you to the website so that you're comfortable and confident using that. And I realized that I forgot to check egg noodles. So if anybody has to hop off, I totally understand, but I am going to check egg noodles for Era. Okay, we're going to click here. And I personally just love watching somebody work through a website because it really helps me know where to click. I'm going to come click on Approved Food Library. I'm going to search egg noodle. That's what I'm going to do. Egg noodle. We'll see if it brings anything up. It didn't bring anything up. So they're probably not approved. So I'm just going to put in noodles, see what it brings up. So there's some noodles. Bare naked noodles, beatnik, organic grass-fed, some other kind of noodles. So this Explore Cuisine stuff's what I was talking about. That stuff's good. This edamame and spaghetti pasta noodles, look, that's a -3. That one is a -3. Miracle noodles. Yep, so egg noodles are not approved. Thank you, Wendy. Egg noodles aren't approved, Era, so you just might want to have those on a holiday if you still want them. All right. Well, I hope that y'all have had a great time. I appreciate you so very, very much. Please work your way through the fast track. It was developed with you in mind as a map to help you achieve each of these goals so that you can be the most comfortable as possible. Okay, Gayla's asking, how do I save the food combo link? Let me go show you. While I'm here on this instructor page, there's me, there's Jason, and there's Travis. This is my video that I did this morning for the Shibby Show. This was a recent class. This was a blog I recently wrote. This is some notes that this is a PDF document all on hemp powder. I put all of the hemp powder recipes in one document for you, so you can just print that. So that's, you always want to kind of come and check and see what's new there. And the reason that my stuff isn't showing up, and once you've clicked every checkbox, your stuff won't show up anymore either like that. You just have to click on a lap for it to drop down, okay? So let's see. So it says, save this simple food combining link. Let's click there. Okay, so we got it. We got this up. So Gayla, somewhere on your computer, you're going to see a little star or like a favorite. Do you know where your favorite button is? Are you on a phone or a computer, Gayla? I might have asked this earlier, I just can't remember. Both. Okay, so on a computer, you're going to click this little star or your favorite button. You can call it the Fast Track Combinations link. And then you decide, do you want it to go in your bookmarks bar across the top of your screen, or do you want it to go in your other bookmarks, which would be a drop-down menu? I'm just going to put it in other bookmarks. Okay, so now that that's done, if you click on your other bookmarks, and based on your computer and your operating system, whether you have a Macintosh, a Mac or a PC, some of these things could look different, but it's still the same concept on all of them. It just might be called something different. So if I click on other bookmarks now, if I scroll all the way down here, do you see that's the last thing, Fast Track Combinations link? And if I clicked there, it'll bring it up again. So that's how you save that. If you are on your phone, on your phone, once you've pulled it up on your phone, there's a little square and with an arrow pointing out of it. Do you have an iPhone, Gayla, or a Android? Android. Well, on the Android, I don't really know what to tell you, but there is going to be some part on there where you can save it to your home screen. And you're going to want to do that. I mean, if you want to access it on your phone. Honestly, I would only want to access it on my phone if I had to. It looks a little better. Well, it actually looks a lot better on a computer. But if the phone is all you got, you want to try to save it there just so you can look at it. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. Any other questions? Did I miss anything? If not, you're welcome, Sandra. Thank y'all for hanging in with me. I was wordy last night and tonight. You're welcome, Kathy. It's important. I don't think we wasted our time, but I talked a lot more. There is a lot to explain, and I think the more that you hear it, the better. You're welcome, Kathy. Okay, I'm gonna hop off. Okay, if you are a Shibby Show watcher, thank you, Shannon. If you're a Shibby Show watcher, it's gonna be early in the morning. Maybe not a 5 o'clock kind of early. It is going to be probably before 7 though. You're welcome, Kathy. I'm glad that you did. Yeah, Shannon, there are great classes on here. So last night and tonight is our lives for this week. Now you're going to be focused in on that. You got to commit to putting the time together this week because it's important. It's very, very important for you. I love comments and things on the Facebook group too. It tells me that you're doing it, and it's very encouraging to everybody to see that. So I hope so. You're welcome. I'm glad you learned a lot. That's awesome. And I will see y'all hopefully in the morning.